Does your 4th gen 4Runner have disgusting orange lights that are kind of burnt out and an LCD screen that just doesn't work much anymore? Well, it's probably pretty common. That's why we are putting in this brand new reverse polarity kit complete with white LEDs, changing all those switches, even the gear shift and the cup holders. Yep, we're doing it all. How are we going to get started? We're just going to take out this bolt here, going to peel this back. This HVAC climate control system is going to come right out. Probably going to have to use two hands for that. Once we do, though, pops out, going to remove the wire in the back, and we are well on our way. All right, everybody, what's up? We got a big project. We got the climate control display screen out and about here, and we have some switches out as well, and we have a bunch of parts here. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor, the partnership that was formed for this video. Mark from T4 Rewired makes some fantastic kits here that allows us to do all this. He has kits that include the screen for reverse polarity, all the LEDs we're going to need, all the prep work, all the wires, and he makes it really simple. And so today this video is going to feature putting his kit into my 4Runner. That's going to include a reverse polarity swap on the screen. So this is going to have a darker film over top of it, and it's going to have stronger LEDs, 12 volts going to them, to get through that screen. It's going to look really nice. We're going to replace all of these LEDs in here, and we're also going to replace the shifter LED and the cup holder LED. Don't worry, it's not going to be too bad. As an added bonus, I'm going to throw some LEDs in here as well. But let's get to it. It's going to be broken up in some parts, timestamps below, and of course, Mark T4 Rewired. All the information to get one of these kits is going to be in the description. He has an awesome Facebook page, and he is fantastic to work with. He can help you if you ever get in trouble, if this video doesn't cover that problem. And so anyways, guys, let's get right started. Alright guys, so first thing is first, we got this out of the vehicle as you just saw, how to remove that. And if we go to the back, you're going to notice that I have a bunch of white dots here. If yours doesn't have these white dots, that is very normal because I just put them here with a paint pen. The reason I used a paint pen is because I wanted to mark where all the positive points for the LED lights go. So for example, I took my paint pen and I marked here, knowing that the positive connection in the LED when we turn it around is going to go here. I did that for all of our LEDs, so you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 here because of it's limited. 7 LEDs down here, and then I have 2 up here, which we're going to be swapping for 12 volts regardless. We don't have to worry about these, but just in case, I do have the white marks here to show where the positives go. And so when we take these out and we swap the LED bulb in, we put it back in, we now know the LED is going to go on the positive side to here. How do we know which side is positive on the LED? I'm about to show you that, but it's pretty much going to be the longer one. And so let's go take one of these out and go from there. Alright guys, so to start, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my screwdriver, gently insert it in there, and I'm going to turn this LED, and it's going to pop out nicely there. If I were to flip this, boom. As you can see, the LED that was there, might be a little bit difficult to focus here, but you can see I have the bulb in my hand, and I'm just going to undo these wires. You might need to use a little thing of pliers. You can kind of knock them up with your screwdriver. And sorry, I'm just trying to do this within focus. Aha, there we go. So now I got them like this. They're out and I can pull. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull that bolt, or not bolt, sorry, the light bulb down and out. And now we have removed our old little bulb here, this incandescent bulb. No longer need it, and we're going to actually swap in an LED, and so I'm just going to readjust the camera to get a better view here and show you how I do that. Alright, and so you can see I have both of my little bulbs here. I have my old incandescent bulb and I have my LED beside it. If I were to take this up, you might be able to see, I'll see if I can put it in my hand here. One side is a little bit longer, that's going to be our positive side. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do, I have the old casing right here. I am just going to slide this into the old casing and it's going to come out the other side. Might take a little bit of wiggles. There's 2 little holes in there. There we go. And I'm going to push that in, and that is nice. And now comes the fun part. And so we have these wires in here. Basically all we're going to do, we are going to take one side, as you can see, and I'm just going to start to slowly pull it down, and there's going to be a little slit it goes in. I'm going to pull the other side down, and once again there's going to be a little slit it goes in. Then I'm going to take my finger, pull this. Oops, sorry, I really want to make sure I get this in focus. There we go. Gonna go down and around and up the other side. And so when you're done, it should look something like this. Kind of see it. And so I'm going to go take my pliers now and I'm going to press it in there, make sure it's nice in the grooves on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. So once again, going from here around into the groove, and then both of them are going to be sticking up, and that's how we're going to know which side is the positive as well, which one's longer. So I'm going to go ahead and use my pliers, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that I got all my wires in there, I could tell that this one was longer, so that's my positive side, and so I've made a white mark there. I'm just going to match those white marks when I go to put it back in. And now the other thing you can do, because you have these sticking out a little bit, you can just cut these off, you can trim them. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to stick it back in. I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so now that I got the LED ready, I'm just going to drop it in nicely, take my screwdriver till it drops on its own, and gently push it over. That should be good. To double check, let's just head to the truck and see. Alright, as you can see, we have the first successful white LED in. This looks fantastic. So I'm going to bring this back over to the bench, and I'm going to do the rest of them. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do the exact same process for all the rest of these, checking that it's on after each time I do one. And so I'm going to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm just going to do my switches really quick. Remember, the positive is always going to be going to the outside of the switch. And so I'm going to swap those out, and then I'm going to meet you back when I'm done all those, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then we'll get started on the reverse polarity. Woo! So, just finished all the lights back in the truck here. Boom, as you can see. Now, some of them might be a little bit faded. That's because I don't think I got the cleanest connection. So I'm actually going to go back and clean off some of my grounds and make sure I have everything perfect. But yeah, huge difference over the stock. So I'm really happy with this so far. Once again, you can see some of these are a tiny bit brighter. That's just because I think a bad ground, or maybe I got some paint on the ground. So I'm just going to go and clean those up. And then we're going to get started on the reverse polarity. Alright, so now that we got all the new bulbs in, what we're going to do is we're going to start the reverse polarity mod for the actual screen here. And so to do that, I need to take off a bunch of these screws. And so I have my Japanese industry standard, my JIS screwdriver, and I'm going to remove the following bolts. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to show us all the, I was going to say the motherboards. I don't think that's the right term, but I'm not the kind of guy who knows that kind of stuff. And so I'm just going to go ahead and remove these screws and also pay very careful attention to where I put them, as these are some little ones. So I'm just going to put them up here. I would recommend using a Japanese industry standard screwdriver. I'm going to include the kit that I use in the description here. Normal, American, Canadian, wherever you are, screwdrivers, Phillips heads are going to strip these bolts sometimes. So I don't like to take that chance, so I just do it like this, and I'm just going through them each, almost done here. About to move on to the last ones. And one final one. And voila, now that we have that, go ahead and take this off. It's going to show us all that, and then down here is going to show us this. As you can see. Alright, I'm going to adjust the camera and we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, the next step is we are going to take off these little screws up here. And you're just going to remove the cover for us. Once again, going really gentle. There we go, we got one, and then the other one. And we got that one, which is going to allow us to kind of push this out of here. Alright, next up now, we are going to take off these two screws, so just right here and right here. Go ahead and do that real quick. After we get those off, the next thing we're going to do here is we are just going to lift up a tab on this side and this side, and then we can gently just lift this up. I'm just going to use a screwdriver here to get underneath it, and it's going to come out. So we're just going to lift up the tabs on the edge, like right there, and the other side, and then just lift these out. Do that for all three that are on here. Alright, now that we've got this out of the plastic brace and everything, we are going to take our supplied razor blade, and we're just slowly going to start working this film off. And so as you can see, I have it under there, and I'm just going to go along here ever so slow. Oh my gosh, I'm slurring my words and missing. Ever so gently, trying to stay under that film, and you can see I've already started missing, and now I've cut my film. Usually it's nice to get it out in one piece, but no worries on this. So I'm just going to keep going and slowly going to work it. We really want to make sure we don't slip and cut our finger or anything like that. That would be terrible. So I'm just going to start on the top here, and I'm just going to work it. And I'm going to do that all the way around till we get it off. Then we're going to wipe it down with some alcohol, scrub it again, get this spotless. And I'll meet you when I'm done that. Just another friendly reminder, be careful with the razor blades. They cut very deep, very sharp. I got injured so you don't have to. Anyways, guys, so now that we have some of this glue off, we're going to take some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, really soak that in, and we're just going to go. And as you can see, we are getting quite a bit more glue off. We're going to do this a few times, just making sure that application surface is really nice for us. There we go, got all that off. Take my wipe it again. You can kind of see from the sunlight here how much of the glue is coming off and the residue that's still there. Let's start up top again. And slowly get more off. Yeah, there we go, getting quite a bit more off. And we're just going to rinse and repeat this about maybe 4 or 5 times till we get all of that residue off. So I'm just going to finish that up and meet back. Alright, now that we've got our screen as clean as we can, we're going to take our just our little vinyl layer here, and we're going to peel off the first side, making sure there's no dust on our screen. And we are going to try our absolute best to line this up perfectly. Not like that, obviously, but I'm just going to start in one corner. And, oh, I got a little bit more room. And go to the other side. Now you might get some air bubbles, which is completely normal. We're just going to lift it up and slowly get those out. Now you can use your thumb like this to get some of those air bubbles out. As you can see, I'll try to get some of the glare. Still some air bubbles. A lot of different things you can use. One of the things I might recommend using is like a card. I'm going to just go grab one really quick. Alright, and this is a vinyl card. So we use this for like stickers, for films, vinyl wrapping, and it kind of lets you get that surface, all that air bubbles out. And so we're just going to start from the middle, and we're just going to press to the outside. Being gentle, try not to break anything at the same time. You can hold it in some light. You can use both sides. I like to start with the smooth side. If there's a bubble that's kind of annoying, I really try to press in and just press it out. And after a while, you'll start to see these bubbles start to go away. Just working them to the outside. And once you're done, then we can go ahead and take off the other side. I'm just going to finish this up, and then I will come back. Alright, and so the same way we took everything apart, we're going to put it back together. Now that I got that film in, just going to put that down there. We'll lift all these up. Now just a reminder, with these little clips, we want to get the edges up. And then we are going to put that inside. And then the sides are going to click down. Make sure they're all down. And then that part is complete. All right, next step here, we are going to go ahead and remove these two bulbs. So take that out. And then the other one, just twist and remove it. And now we're going to take our supplied 12-volt kit and put it in. Remember, the stock is 6 volts. We're upgrading to 12 volts on this kit. And so we're going to go ahead and twist these in just as we would do it with any other bolt. Gently put that in. And take our screwdriver and twist. Perfect. And then we're going to do the same to the other side. Twist and perfect. Those are nice and in there. And then the thing that Mark likes to do is, I'm going to take that out to do that. He likes to go like this and then tuck that behind this piece in here. So kind of make a loop around it. Just keeps it in place better. I might go ahead and do that. I think I will. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take out these two and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so this is what it'll look like when you do it like that. And the other thing that we need to do, though, because we have this stock piece, is we actually need to notch these and make sure that our new bulbs and wiring can fit in here. So I'm just going to notch these out. Just going to break apart some of these tabs. They're pretty brittle. And just notch them so we can fit everything in there. There we go. One side is notched. And we're just going to go ahead and notch out the other side as well. And what this does then is it just makes sure that you can fit everything in there without pinching anything or getting anything misplaced when you're trying to put it all back together. So we're just going to notch out these. I'm just taking some pliers, going around in a circle here, as you can see, taking out that outer rim. Let's go Star Wars. And then once we got that, we're just going to put it all back together. And so this piece is going to... Oh boy. I do not have the best sense of direction here. There we go. Just like that. It's going to go in there like that. And we are going to reattach these little screws. Just like so. That's still in place. Perfect. Put in the other one now. Perfect. And now we can go ahead and close everything up. So we're just going to put that sucker down, and you can kind of see where you have to notch to make everything fit with the wiring. There we go. Perfect. And we're just going to make sure that is going in right. And so as you can see, it can pinch if you don't do it quite right. And so we just want to line up our wires to make sure they are clearing everything. Which they are now. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this up. And so we got 3 bolts to do, because the one is already holding the circuit board in. Got this one down here. Let's get that in there. Beauty. Flip it around. We got this one down here. Beauty. And this one last one right there. Beauty. And so we now have what we need for a reverse polarity kit. We got the darker film on here. All the lights are redone. We have our connector. Now we got to take the other connector, attach to here, and then use a little thing to take power from our cigarette lighter. I'll show you guys how to do that as we go back to the truck now. Okay, so to continue on with this, what we need to do now is we need to remove kind of the center console. Really easy to do. Flip that up. Boom. Boom. Take that out. We're just going to put this up for now. We are going to be doing the shifter light and the 2 lights in the cup holder anyway, so this is going up. Move that for now. And now, to piggyback off the cigarette lighter, we're going to actually take out the cigarette lighter plug. There we go. So we're going to unplug that, and now we're going to use our splice, and we're going to go into the red and brown wire. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Let me just move the camera. Alright, so now we're going to take that little red and brown wire. We're going to take this little thing, put it right where that goes right there, and then we're going to clamp her down nice and tight. And we'll just take some pliers here, finish her off. Boom, nice and tight. And now that that's in there, that's basically pinching the connection, stealing the 12 volt from there. And we just got to plug everything in. So as I was getting ready for the next step, I actually just pulled out the cup holder light here. It's this little one. You unscrew it and you can pull it right out with a set of pliers. And then we're just going to take one of our LEDs that was supplied in the kit. You can kind of see them here as soon as the camera focuses. There we go. We're going to take one of those, put it in, and then we're just going to gently flip it around and put it back into the hole, and you will see how bright it is in just a second here. Just let me get that back in, and ka-chow. Look at how bright that is. Ridiculous. Of course, we still have to put it in the hole. Once we do, it's going to look like this. Nice. Now what we're doing is we're actually going to take off the gear shift, and so there's just 4 clips. You just pry them, as you can see, on both sides, and that's going to release the gear shift cover here. We're just going to go ahead and remove that, lift the gear shift cover up, and before you can take it off, you're just going to unscrew your shift knob. Really easy, as you can see. As we do that, a little ASMR there for you. As we do that, this is just going to come loose. We can pull it off. You can clean it out if you want. I didn't bother. But once we look in there, we're going to see this little orange light just in the corner there. You can also see how dirty it is. But we're going to take that light out, once again with our pliers, and we're going to put an LED in there. Boom, look how bright that is. Ridiculously bright. We're going to put that cover back on. But before we do that, I fed that red wire from the 12 volt system behind everything, and then underneath the cup holders, underneath the gear shift, and I plugged it into the splice there before tightening everything back up. And once we do, just like that, everybody, we are done. You can see all the lights. We got the cup holder lights. The gear shifter is way more illuminated. All these are no longer that yucky orange. We got the reverse polarity kit, nice and bright. You can look through all our modes. Looks so clean. Really loving this look, everybody. So, yeah, that's how to do it. Do not forget to contact T4 Rewired Mark. He's fantastic. I used all the parts in his kit. I'm going to have everything else in the description here, guys. Well worth it. This looks amazing.